At the end of the night, I think we're going to give these a little sand, one more coat of Danish oil. So stay tuned for that. This is the jewelry box for the wife. I am liking how it's coming out. Didn't really have much of a plan in mind for today, but I was actually, what I thought of as I was coming out here is to make do a glue up, do a couple glue ups. And get some like different woods glued together, you know. Hold on, let me get it styled in. Get some different woods glued together to make some cool boxes later in the week. What's happening here, dude? There we go. Yep, so what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the shop. I have some regular ass Doug fir construction 2x4s. And I think I would like to put, I need safety glasses, dude. I think I'd like to put a little piece of walnut in that. Yeah. Maybe in between. No. No. Ooh, we got some cedar. We could throw some cedar in that one. Let's do it, man. Cut a little cedar. Couple pieces of cedar there. I don't want to cut off that walnut quite yet. What do we have here? This piece of walnut, dude. I'm over here at the bandsaw real quick, guys. This is a piece of walnut for you, dude. This little piece of live edge. You can use that for something later. Put it in the pile of shit that I'm saying I'm going to use for something later and never do. Get around that. Yes, we can. This is actually better. Going back to the chop saw. Okay, so we've got construction grade duck fur, some really nice black walnut, or not black walnut, Claro walnut. That we're not going to use that piece of wood yet. We've got a couple chunks of cedar, dude. I've got some clear fir, but I think I'll save that, dude. I think I'll save that for something. So what if we go walnut, fir, cedar, fir, okay, let's get rid of that fucking piece of shit. Cedar, walnut. No, that is wrong, dude. It would have to be like that. Yeah. And then that is what the top of that would look like. Let's take a gander. Pretty much hate it. Pretty much hate that. So, what else we got laying around, dude? What else? What is that? It's another cool little piece of live edge, dude. What if we just do a tiny, tiny little live edge shelf? Little tiny live edge shelf, dude. One sec. No. I think I should go that way. That's the smart way. Okay. So, just kind of freestyle creating tonight, dude. No deadlines. That's gonna have to be smaller. I was thinking about just making a little stand for in here. Oh, dude, what about like that, buddy? And then maybe one. I don't really necessarily like it that high for it to be that small. So, get this one in half on the bandsaw. I like that. It'd be a good little stand for these. For when I go to these craft shows, I can have a little stand that can display a single box that I can put one of the nicer boxes on. That's something that I was thinking of. And it doesn't have to be too fancy. I think we can just wood glue that one. Not even get too crazy with it. So that's what we'll do. First, we're going to sand. And we're going to do some with all these scraps here. A little later tonight. Just kind of wanted to get some of the scraps out of here. So we'll make something. Welcome everybody to the machine. Do I like that side better? I kinda do. Stand them both. Where'd that 150 go? Oh, that 120, I can use that. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's gonna be nice. I'm thinking that since this is just going to be like a little, this is going to be a little display table for the shows, and it's only going to have, you know, like a light little box on it. I'm thinking that I can just do glue on this one, dude. What do you guys think? Glue alone should hold that. Yeah? Yeah, let's glue it, dude. So yeah, that'll be like a little, let me grab a box. This will be like a little box display for like the trade shows or whatever. That little table. I like it. Let's make it happen. What side did I want? I wanted this side, so. About like that. Welcome everybody. I'm just kind of freestyling some stuff tonight, man. I don't have any deadlines. Nothing that I have to make, so I'm just enjoying the time in the shop and just making whatever I feel, dude. That's a good place to be, I think. Yeah, that's a good place to be, man. Shout out to everybody watching from home. It's good to have you here. And I'm not going to measure with the tape measure to get this same distance in, dude. We are freestyling. And that's close enough. Kind of feel like I should at least put some clamps on it. It's not too far apart for that. Oh. Well, now. I'm not going to get too crazy with the clamps. But we can clamp it down a little bit. Let me get the other clamp ready, dude. Oh, wow, the fucking cam ball. Shout out to whoever that is peeling out there. So I'm just trying to be careful so I don't like knock it off. Balance or whatever, dude. So there we go. We'll let that dry. We'll come back to it in, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. It'll be good enough at that point. What else are we doing here, dudes? I thought we should like glue up a big chunk, right? for a big box, you know. So that's what we'll do. We'll do cedar. Yeah, you know what? We'll do one that's only the construction grade fir, and we'll see how that shit turns out. Just gnarly ass construction grade fir. Let's glue it up. Glue up a nice big chunk of this, and then we'll make a bandsaw box out of it tomorrow. This is just your standard construction Doug fir 2x4, and that was, as always, way too much glue. There we go, bud. There we go. So I'll throw this bad dog on there. Yeah, guys, we're gonna make one of those bandsaw boxes. One of these. But we're gonna make it with, instead of some nice walnut like this, we're gonna make it with a construction grade 2x4. Hit it with a stain and see what it looks like. Yeah, I know, there's cleaner, better ways to do this, but don't yell at me. This grain has some like this way and then some that way. This grain's all like that. So I think that would look cool for the front. We'll make a little F here, so we remember that that's the front. We'll clamp these together. And we're going to make a construction grade Doug fir bandsaw box. See how it looks. See if we can make shitty box store lumber into a cool box, into a nice little jewelry box. So we'll see. We will see. What do you guys think? Think it's gonna turn out all right or what? So yeah, we're gonna make some really, we're gonna see if we can make some nice stuff out of cheap lumber, guys. That's kind of what I'm going for. This little idea. This is a construction grade 2x4. I think 8 feet of it was like $4 or $3 or something. So inexpensive. Madrone, burl. We've been using the walnut. Let's see if we can make something real nice out of cheap, commonly available construction grade wood. But we're gonna let that glue set until tomorrow on that one. What's up, guys? Welcome to the shop. It's Tuesday night. We don't have any deadlines, so we're just chilling. Just making whatever. Kind of like looking at stuff and seeing if I can make something out of it. And I'm thinking that maybe I'll cut a bunch of this cedar to about that length, glue it up, and make a cedar fence picket, or it's a cedar fence picket bandsaw box, dude. Let's see if we can do that. These are like, you know, $3, $2, $3 for a 6-foot cedar fence picket. Maybe we can make something real nice out of it. Let's check it out. I am going to have to step over to the chop saw real quick. I don't think this one's thick enough, dude. I might hit it with, I guess, no. We'll make it a little bit. Tim, what's up, man? Let me take these headphones off for a sec. The show was cool, dude. I sold a couple pieces, dude. And then I traded some of the other artists for some of their art, and I ended up with some really cool art, which I think I should do a little video about that. I did show some of the stuff I got. Really cool little bird painting. I got some really sweet Christmas ornaments. I got all kind of cool stuff. And I met a lot of people. And I convinced about, I don't know, 15 people that day to sign up to subscribe to the YouTube channel here. Today, what I'm doing is just kind of farting around the shop. I don't have any deadlines. And I'm just making stuff out of scraps. So I glued together some Doug fir, some like construction grade Doug fir 2x4s to make a box out of tomorrow. And right now, I am gluing together some cedar fence pickets. And then we'll make a box out of those tomorrow. Let me, I'm gonna cut 2 more of those, make it a little bit thicker. Yeah, these don't have to be perfect. They're just seeing what we can do with inexpensive wood that's widely available. Yep. All right, that's plenty thick. That's plenty thick, I think, for a big cedar bandsaw box. Now we just have to decide what we want the face to look like. Out of these, this one actually is in the running. That's pretty good. Definitely not. Well, I suppose we could stabilize the knot with CA glue, and that could be the front. Oh, this one's fucked. Let's get rid of that one, cut another one. There we go. You want the knot? You want the knot on the front, bro? I don't know. It's not really calling to me, dude. I think these two are real good. I like that one. And I like that one. So, I do know that some of these have a dark edge and a light edge, so I should alternate those as best I can. So that we get that effect in the top of our box. Or the top can look like that, basically. Or these two can be lighter. Compromise. There we go. I like that. We're going to glue it. This is the front. Okay, more glue. More glue. We'll see if we can make a nice bandsaw box out of like $2 worth of cedar. And a whole bunch of glue. my phone charging? Yes, it's all good. So yeah, so tomorrow we'll be able to cut these out and see if we can make some nice bandsaw boxes out of construction grade materials, dude. Cheap, readily available across the nation. Doug fir 2x4, cedar fence picket. And I have a feeling they're gonna look all right when, you know, once they get shaped and sanded and everything, especially the cedar. Which, by the way, smells fantastic in here since I cut that cedar. I can't believe I got to get more glue soon. Probably because I use so much of it, dude. Put too much on, you got to wipe it off. So we're at. Perfect, dude. Was it a dark one? Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I'm off those 60-hour weeks, man, back to 40-hour weeks. Feeling real good. Feeling good, man. This gives me a couple extra hours out here every day. Which is super nice. So yeah, it's like I made all those boxes with, you know, madrone burl and walnut burl, and I feel like it's pretty easy to make stuff look awesome when your wood is premium like that, you know? So let's see if we can make these look awesome. That's just kind of super cheap wood. Thank you, buddy. I almost went to another craft fair. I almost signed up for another craft fair this upcoming weekend. And then I found out that not only do they charge you a table fee to have a table there, they also want to take 10% of what you make. And I thought that was a little fucking crazy. So I decided not to go do that one, dude. I guess I could add 10% to the cost or whatever, but yeah, dude, I don't know. It just seems like an awful lot of money to give someone who didn't even help me make this stuff. You know? Basically, yeah, it's like they're, yeah, kind of. It's like they're double dipping, dude. And I don't know. It's cool there. I don't want to beef. I don't want to mention who it is, but like, it's cool, dude. Maybe I'll try another one of their shows another time, but for me, that wasn't going to really work out. That's what I do, man. All right, guys, we have a big old glued chunk of cedar, dude. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I need to make napkin holders, man. I just sold my last one on Etsy, too. Kind of want to, I could make a napkin out of that. Maybe out of that. So I'm just kind of looking around. Did my stream freeze, dude? Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think, or should I make another little table for shows? We got that one little table. We got the big table. I usually use the walnut for the napkin holder. I have a chunk there that might work. I have that clear fir. I don't really want to use that, though. I feel like something like a napkin holder, man, you want to make it like out of something badass or whatever. We can, you know what, dude? Let's make another Madrone box here. Plenty of Madrone. Well, not plenty, but a little bit left. Let me find a chunk to work with here. I have this chunk of Madrone. That would actually be sick, dude. I kind of like the shape it's already in. It's already got kind of off-kilter, weird shape. Maybe I'll flatten the bottom. Yeah, like this the front. It's got these crazy, you know what, let's see how deep those go before we get into it. Whatever this was, is some kind of maybe grub, I think. Little grubs chewing through here. Beetle grubs or something. Okay, so those aren't too invasive in there. That's a good chunk, dude. It's heavy. Heavy little friend there. I suppose we should switch over to bandsaw view. So I'm going to move you guys. One sec. Yeah. Yo, what up, Meldrum? Welcome, my friend. Meldrum, if you're just tuning in, we're going to make a box out of this. And then we also glued up some cheap construction lumber to make boxes out of tomorrow and see if we can make cool looking stuff out of widely available cheap lumber. Do you know what I mean, man? It's rough, dude. Seems really big. Remember to always mark, dude. I think I'm gonna leave the shape as it is. We'll leave the shape as it is. We'll put the door out. And we learned our lesson. We learned our lesson about round things in the bandsaw. That's the deal. Playing for the round things, dude.
That's the top. Yeah, okay. Front. I'm going to switch you guys back over to the other view here.
There we go. Safety gear for gluing. Oh, dude, I don't have the clamps to be gluing this sucker back together yet. That's not gonna fit. If anybody was wondering what to get me for Christmas, dude, or whatever, holiday season, just get me a whole bunch of clamps, dude. Get me a whole bunch of those. You see these Irwin, like 8-inch clamps and 6-inch clamps? Well, there's a 12-inch. These, I love these, dude. These are fantastic clamps. So if you're wondering what to get old Vance for Christmas, dude, give me like 100 of these, bro. You know, Irwin, that's the company Irwin. If you're watching, dude, sponsor me, bro. Sponsor me with some clamps, baby. Let me get some of those. Oh, let me show you guys my high-tech phone holder for when I'm at the bandsaw. I just put my phone in there. Hold on a second. We might be able to do phoneception here, dude. What? What, dude? How many times is it going to do that, bro? Forever? No way. No way, dude. Holy smokes. Dude. Whoa. Okay, that's enough for that shenanigans, bud. Okie dokie, so this is going to be our drawer. Good size drawer. Very nice. You know what, though, dude? Both the back and part of the drawer have this this knot that wants to go freestyling. So what I want to do about that is I'm gonna, should I see how I glue that from the inside? That's the outside. I'm gonna glue it in there, dude. Yeah. Yeah, that concludes the technology part of the show. Okay. Maybe I should have used the thick for this because it's such a big gap. No, that's doing pretty good. Doing pretty good in there. This is going to be on the inside anyways. So, yeah, I like that, dude. And this is our drawer, which also needs a little glue loving. So, dudes, we are like a third of the way to the subscribers that we need. So if you guys want to subscribe, if you haven't already, that would be awesome. But we're a third of the way to 1,000 subscribers. Meldrum, you ever see this? It's activator stuff for CA glue, for super glue. Instant dries it, dude. Instant hardens it. Instantly. Let's carton that off. Yeah, it's dope, dude. Like, see, that's wet super glue right there. Now it is not. Yeah, that's like hard as a rock now. Just like your mom. Ayo. Now, I don't necessarily want to hit it with the CA glue on this side because this is the side that's going to be facing outward, and it makes it all milky, cloudy, and you have to sand the shit out of it instead of just a light sand. So we'll set this, I'll set that right now. We'll put a couple little scrappy pieces under it over here, dude. Oh no. And we'll hit this up. Just a little bit, dude. That's gonna need some sanding. Who texted me? Okay. Dude, I wonder if I could join these with CA glue instead of wood glue. But you know what, man? I don't want to risk it on this piece of burl. Probably could, dude. CA glue's pretty strong, but no. Okay. We're still waiting for all glue to harden here. clamp this guy. This guy can be clamped though. No, I don't like that one. Fuck, I'd rather use that one than that big old chunker though. Yeah, I talk to myself, guys. That's what's happening over here. That's a good point, dude. Try that out on the cheap wood. I don't really even have like a goal with this box, dude. There's no upcoming show where I need to make this box, you know. I'm just at this point I'm just feel weird if I'm not making boxes, bro. That's something I've noticed sometimes when you're clamping these, if it's a weird shape, you got to make sure you like hold it exactly how you want it as you clamp it, because it can push it together at weird angles and stuff. Just like that. Dude. This clamp, bro. This clamp is the bane of my existence. I'd love to replace it with those Irwin clamps, guys. Just whispering in Santa's ear here. Oh, dudes, I almost forgot. I put some of the boxes on the Etsy, dude. So if you go to Cobb Mountain Woodworks Etsy, you'll see that not only are there some really nice walnut serving boards, but there's also some of the more sick boxes that I made. So head on over to Cobb Mountain Woodworks on Etsy. Get your Christmas shopping done, dude. If you haven't already, buy yourself or someone you love something really badass, dude. And yours truly. That's pretty clamped. That's fairly clamped, dude. Let's try now. Ooh. I ain't going nowhere. I can't believe I just said that. I'll see myself out. Looks kind of like a little like a little starfish with a prairie dog starting to pop out, huh? Dude, I gotta be careful about sanding that edge. That is a thin cut, dude. Yeah, so that edge might not even get sanded. It's that free and thin, dude. Yo, is that gonna fit, bro? Shit. Right there's the corner that needs to be clamping upon. Gonna have to go over and grab Gigantor clamp. No. What did I fuck up there? No, it's okay. Okay. Oh, that looks good. Slap her down right there. Ooh, I can use this for the drawer. That for the drawer. For the drawer. I should sand that before. Damn, that's not really something you want to be doing either. Sanding on the inside of the drawer. Wait, where's the glue? Dang. Yeah, that's just gonna have to. That's just gonna have to be there, man. Sanding that would compromise how tight that joint is, you know what I mean? So that could just be there. Fuck it. That's gonna work, dude. That'll work. Very nice. Very nice. Man, it feels nice to be able to do stuff like in the shop and not have it be in a frenzied pace, dude. will say though, I did impress myself with being able to hit that deadline. Busting out all those boxes, bro. That was fucking crazy. Alright, there's the drawer. And I think this little shelf's been in the clamps long enough. This one is just like I made a little. I found myself at that craft show wanting another little stand for an individual box, right? Oh no, I got clamp marks on me. So I made that, you know? Just a little stand for an individual box. I ended up making 33 boxes in 2 weeks, Mildred, while working 60 hours a week. So yeah, it's nice to not be feeling under the gun, dude. So this is gonna be a little display table for the craft shows. I gotta check this out. This is like a had a gnarly knot on it. So we stabilize that with the glue, with the CA glue. Made a cool little box, dude. Unfortunately, got some clamp marks on this. And I'm gonna sand those off real quick, guys. Be right back, I'm sanding. So, you know, a little table, dude. For display. Yeah, we can put a coat of oil on that tonight. Should I make another one out of that, dude? I kind of like the live edge. Kind of like the live edge, dude. So we'll make another little display table. Now this it's not. Right? Also, it's kind of, I'm going to cut a piece off of this on the bandsaw. Board's kind of warped. Hopefully that one should be high to hold the big one, right? Hey, good night, Tim. Good to see you, man. Just going to stabilize this crack here real quick. It's crazy how fast that works, dude. Mm. That one's gonna look like shit, I bet. We're gonna do a one more coat of Danish oil on these. What was this 320, dude? Yeah, that was a 320. Okey-dokey. Let me crack the window here, guys. Because I'm about to fire off some Danish oil. Welcome everyone to the shop. It is Tuesday night, December 9th. Just kind of in here making whatever, dude. We ended up making some little tables for the craft fairs to set the boxes on. We ended up gluing up some construction grade 2x4s and some cedar fence pickets to make some boxes out of tomorrow to see if we can make nice boxes out of affordable and commonly available materials. So yeah, here we go. First, let me just get everything all wiped down. Just want to get the dust off there. There we go. Putting that Danish oil on there. And this is going to be a tiny little display table for the craft fairs, dude. Made out of live edge walnut. Quick and easy style. Just glued and clamped the legs on. It doesn't have to be super strong. It's just going to hold small wooden boxes. Okay. I want to get these projects out of my drying area. Move that. That's okay. We're going to go with the dark black walnut Danish oil. You guys ready for this grain reveal on this little tiny table? Let's check it out. Dude, that's nice. So that'll make a nice little display table for the craft shows. I think you don't want to just like put all your stuff out there flat on the table. You know, you want different stuff in different zones. You want different elevations going on. You know, you want it to be visually interesting. And I wanted a nice little stand like this for like the nicer, you know, the nicer boxes that aren't selling with the whole group. But, you know, they're a little more expensive, so they need to be off by themselves on something. It's kind of what the inspiration for this little sucker is. You know, it's a nice wood, man. There we go. Oh, there's our little display table, dude. Get another coat of oil on the wife's jewelry box here. Welcome, everyone. Just oiling some wood. chilling, oiling some wood. Now we're gonna wipe the excess off. Go back through, wipe the excess oil off, so it doesn't get all clumpy on there, dude. That's the wrong towel for that. Too dirty. Okay, here we go. Here's our little shelf, guys. Cool little shelf. We'll make a good little bonsai shelf too. Alright guys, well once again, man, thank you for tuning in. Had a good time. And I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll cut open those glue ups we just did and see what we can make out of those. See if we can make something nice out of them. So appreciate you all hanging out. And I'll see you tomorrow.